it's Don the Auction Professor here. We're going to talk today about another bolo. We're going to go right into Little Golden Books right now. So here we are. This is a site you can use. This is realpriceguides.com, and they actually have a Little Golden Books section on here. There's other ones you can use as well, so just keep that in mind. But this has everything you could imagine on Little Golden Books. It goes into the detail, all the copyright information, what's going to be where, what they're priced at with the dust jackets, what they're priced with without. The prices are fairly honest for near mint editions, only near mint editions. Everything else you can't go buy on this site in any other condition. So FYI, again, it's realpriceguides.com/golden. Will take you right to the Golden Books section. But let's head right over to Golden Books themselves. Now, I've been lucky enough to walk up on some huge collections of these, hundreds of them. And there's hundreds and hundreds of Little Golden Books, if you didn't know that. The better ones are the ones with something inserts, like puzzles, paper dolls, Band-Aids, or something like that. This one here is one of the first ones I ever found that had something in it like this, and I had no clue that there was a jigsaw puzzle ever in a Little Golden Book. This is Brave Cowboy Bill. This one is missing the puzzle, though, and it's still sold for $32. With the puzzle, this one could go for $100, so just keep that in mind when you're looking for these puzzles. There's a couple I have in here to show you. Next one here is the ABC book with the puzzle intact, $56. Now, this one will be a good example to show you the one thing you need to know on Little Golden Books. Now, if I find a single one and it's not a quarter or less, I won't buy it unless it has the A, the first edition. If you're unaware, there is an A on the very last page on the bottom right corner, right next to where the cardboard back cover connects to the book and spine. And you can see it right down there. That is the A. Sometimes you'll have to bend the spine back just a hair, the back cover, to expose the number. If it has a B, it's a second edition. If it has a C, third edition, and on and on and on and on. So that's how you can tell. That's the one thing I look for in every Little Golden Book I get. They don't have to be old. There's new ones that go for some good money, which we'll show you as well, too. Big misconception is that they're only vintage ones that are worth money. Most of the vintage ones aren't worth a lot of money, even as a first edition. There are some newer ones that blow some of the old ones away any day of the week, which we will show you. It's not a fortune maker, but I do run into a couple of these first editions every single week. I run into them of my life. Every single week I run into several of these. So they're frequently found. They sell very well, just not huge monster profits. So, but you're going to make some good money off of these. So anyway, $56 on this one. Baby's Day Out. This is 1994. This is one of those newer ones. It always goes. It's got some 20th Century Fox tie-ins with it. It's a John Hughes book. If you don't know who John Hughes is, look him up. There's quite a few movies that are tied to the gentleman. He did some classics, so look him up. Hopefully you've seen it. There's a movie for this one as well, so, you know, look into it. $44.95. Hansel and Gretel. Now, again, here's another thing many people miss. There are dust jackets for these. The first ones had dust jackets. Dust jackets can go for good money. We've sold just dust jackets of books, hundreds of them, like 400 or 500 dust jackets in our time. We do have sources to get those, and there are sources in pretty much almost anywhere to find them if you dig hard enough and know to go to the right place. So anyway, $40 on this one here. Not in mint condition, but still the dust jacket makes it worthwhile. Hansel and Gretel. Now here's a Tammy one. This one has paper dolls in it. If you haven't seen my paper doll video, it's up here. Paper dolls are one of the categories you can sell on more sites than most other items. There are 5 good sites to sell this type of item. You can RA them, FBA them, you can wholesale them, you can vintage sell them. It's a good category, I'm telling you. You can get them at Dollar Store, you can get them at Rite Aid, you can get them at Walmart, even in the clearance for just pennies, and still flip them. You know, even make a couple bucks a piece and buy hundreds of these. You can wholesale purchase these. You know, there's just so many options to do this particular thing. Again, the video is right up there if you're interested. $38.77. Snow White. There's a whole line of Disney. They're all numbered too. So the site I showed you has the book number on it. They start at book 1 and they go right up over into the 600. I think there's like 1,200 different books in this series. It's a huge monster series. $42.91. And there's some names and some other things with it. So anyway, it's still a decent book. $42.91, as I said. Another puzzle book. Now this one I think is missing the puzzle. Yeah, this one's missing the puzzle. I have not had one of these with the puzzle, but I've seen them before. $100 or better with the puzzle on this one here. $45.99 as it is, though. Now there's a giant little golden book as well too. It's a big size. It's like 3 or 4 golden books all put together. The golden books, I believe, had 42 pages. Maybe it quoted 44, but I think there were actually only 42 in the original ones, and then they dropped it to 28 because of the war and stuff during World War II. So there's different categories and designations for which edition it is based on that factor. So look at that site I told you as well too. This one went for 30. It's got some bumping and some corner issues. Still, this one's always bought. This one I can sell pretty much any day of the week on this one here. Hiram's Red Shirt. This is a good one here, even with some wrinkles, some damage, some wear to the cover. This is an 80s book, an 80s, like 81 or 82. Let's see if it says 81, right on the money there. This one sold for 30 bucks. Had it in better condition, this one goes for 40 to 50 bucks. This is one I found at Savers many times before Savers closed down. This one is one you're going to find. Most people don't look at these newer ones. They only look for the vintage ones. That is a big mistake for anybody doing this. So don't always center in on new things for no matter what you're doing. Even like I collect and sell Christmas cards. There's new Christmas cards, brand new ones that go for some big bucks. So anyway, Where's Goldie? Another one. This is 83. There's some key ones from the 80s that go, as well as from the 90s. This is one of them. Look it up. This one always sells. This one always sells. $49.99 on this one. Mr. Bell's Fix-It Shop. Another 80s one. 30 bucks on this one with some wear and some other issues. You can see it's got scuffs and wear. This is like a $40 to $50 book. Even up to 60 or 70 bucks if the condition is tip-top mint. It's just a nice book anyway. Now here's Little Piggy. This one's very popular. The cute babies and infants and children go very well across the board on any kind of stuff usually. Dust Jacket's in very nice condition, and now it looks like they probably bought it like at a secondhand store because of that sticker there. Maybe it was a antique mall or a flea market purchase as well too. Almost 80 bucks on this one here. But this is one of the first few editions ever made, and the first, I think, top 20 or the top 20 made, maybe even the top 12 made. Pokey Little Pup. Now they've got like new, which this would have bugged me. I couldn't call it like new. Look at the spine, the blue spine on the very top left of the image there. It's got some bumping somewhere. You can see discoloration. That would distinguish it from not being like new right off the bat in my book. It would put it at like VG plus or somewhere in that range. I mean, it's a nice looking book, don't get me wrong, but that little consideration there is enough to ding it down in my grading scale. And you can see here, too, there's some more discoloration. You can see a line down the spine where the spine has some issues. Dings on the top. So, again, this isn't in the condition that they're stating in my book, anyway. Still a nice book, not a crack, but, you know, it isn't like new in my book. Now, this is usually what I see most people selling them as, is just in a big lot. Sort through them all. If you buy a couple hundred of these all at once, look through them all. Look them all up. Once you've looked through them a few times, you're going to know which ones not to look up. You'll know right off the bat which ones are worth money and which ones aren't. Usually the radio and TV and movie tie-ins are worth some money. $8-10 bucks on average for most of those. Don't pay more than $1 for most of these unless they're better editions or they have a puzzle or something. So know your stuff. I can usually sell them and make a pretty good profit this way. At a garage sale, I may pay $1 or less a piece for them. $1 to $2 is the max I usually pay for any of them. I usually can get them down to $2 or less. So just another lot, just another example, $81 for 40 plus. What I'll also do is I'll save the first editions that aren't worth a ton of money, and I'll usually save them out and put them in a lot like this, because I usually can get these in bulk. A lot like this, I might spend $5, $10, $15 at most from like a garage sale or a flea market or an estate sale if I'm lucky. So one philosophy on this is I'll just throw in some A's, some of the cheaper A's. So that's what I do with the ones that aren't worth selling on their own, the A editions. And I'll throw them in here so I can at least put in the title has some first editions. That will pique someone's interest, and usually it'll just sell straight outright. I do bins so I don't have to worry about bidders. And that's usually what happens on these. And last one here is just another lot. This is some newer ones in here too, but they still do sell, so just keep that in mind when you're doing this. Hopefully that helps out. Hopefully that gave you some thoughts on this. Well, there you go. That's another item that we look for. Hopefully that gave you some explanation, some ideas, and some thoughts on it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.